Final Fantasy set review is go. There are 300 cards in this set and 64 more on the Through the Ages bonus sheet. Through the Ages stuff, not new, legal, in standard, but the actual set is. And it's actually, I think, 310 cards in the main set. 99 of which are legendary creatures. More than that are legendary, but 99 of which are legendary creatures. There's no planeswalkers in this set. And everything that has a fin in the corner and the Final Fantasy with the crystal on it as its set symbol, those are legal and standard. On the bonus sheet, which is this one right here, the cards that are reprints that are already legal and standard, you can use this art in standard, but it doesn't change the legality of anything. So like if you were playing, I'm trying to find one that is legal in standard. Lorraine of the Third Path, is she still legal? She was Brothers War. Sounds right. I don't even know what's standard legal anymore because everything's just in there. I know there's a couple in here. Stroke of Midnight. Okay, Stroke of Midnight I know is still standard legal. You can play Memories of Nibelheim in there. Great. You're allowed to do that. But when Final Fantasy is still in standard and Eldraine rotates out, this will not be playable unless they reprint it on something else. There's a couple cards in starter decks that are standard legal but not draftable. Yes. And they do not have normal numbers on them. So they are standard legal, very low power. And an example of that would be, let me grab the Cloud from that. Cloud, where is he? Because there's like Cloud and a Sephiroth starter deck. Here we go. Cloud Planets Champion. Cloud Planets Champion is, you'll notice here, has a set number of 552, but it has the regular set symbol on it. This is standard legal. It is not draftable. There's a couple other cards in the starter deck, also same thing. New to standard, standard legal, not very interesting. But they're still there, and they might have a place in certain decks. Like, especially if you're doing, I guess, Boros equipment, because that's the theme of Cloud Stack. So there are some very weird cards in this set, because it's all 16 mainline Final Fantasy games. Yes, that's right. They put all of them in one set. There's also the Commander set, which is 4 decks focusing on Final Fantasy 6, 7, 10, and 14. Those are separate. There's even more cards in there, so if you don't see your favorite character and it's from one of those 4 games, it might also be in those decks. So go, check those. I did a separate set review of the decks and the day they got released. I could probably do another breakdown of them at some point if people are interested in seeing it. But yeah, let's start talking about the cards. You guys have been looking at Steiner here for like 5 minutes while I ramble to myself. Hey, Steiner, you 2 mana, 2/1 with lifelink. You get +1/+1 for each equipment you control. That's interesting. You don't even have to equip with it. You just have to control equipment. Kind of like how the Nahiri that has affinity for artifacts or affinity for equipment gets cheaper. This one just needs you to have equipment. As an uncommon, it is a 2/1 with lifelink, and I will say that you will probably be running some equipment if you're doing a red-white deck and limited. That's what I picked up on as its theme. So this probably is going to be maybe a 2/1 on turn 2, but maybe a 3/2 or a 4/3 later. And with lifelink, that's pretty nice. I have a feeling, though, that because of the straight-up number of legendaries, there's going to be a lot of synergy in this set. There's also going to be a lot of high power. People are asking if their favorite character shows up. You'll have to wait and see your look on Scryfall. You should be able to search right now. You can also, by the way, on Scryfall, search by the game cards are from. So they are broken into the game. You can see which game. This one's 9. Steiner's from 9. If you're interested in looking it up. Aerith. Love Aerith. Definitely had a crush on her when I was a tween. And I still do. She's the flower girl. And she's really pretty, and she's very nice, and I also like her in the remake games. She's a 3 mana 2/2. Also with lifelink. Wow. 2 in a row. She's from 7. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Aerith. She is Pride Mate. Huh. Okay. Johnny's Pride Mate is now has lifelink itself. She's rare, so that's fair. And when she dies, RIP, you put X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature you control, where X is the number of counters that's on her. So this is a Pride Mate that self-enables, that has lifelink. And as I said before, there are 100 legendary creatures in this set. Which means that there's a good chance that your other creatures will be legendary. In Limited, yes, she's very good because she will put her counters on something else if it's not like to a board wipe. She's gonna be good in Bator. Yeah, she'll be nice in Bator. Yeah, any life gain sort of commander will like this. I'd say that like this is a rare, it feels appropriate for its power level. This is an uncommon, it feels appropriate for an uncommon. Would I put this into a deck like SRAM? Maybe. I feel like it's not that powerful of a creature, but it's still fun and fits the theme. It'll definitely be a good budget choice. Would I put this into a life gain themed deck like Treyla or Amalia? Absolutely. I think that this is a great card to put into like an Amalia Brawl deck. Aerith Rescue Mission. So this is the part of Final Fantasy VII where you infiltrate Shinra's headquarters, the tower, and you can either take the elevator and make 3 1/1 colorless hero creature tokens, or take 59 flights of stairs. Tap up to 3 target creatures, put a stun counter on one of them. Yeah, you see like Barrett huffing and puffing here, because that's about what happened in this part of the game. It's you'd see them going up the stairs. Cute. For 4 mana, making 3 tokens is not bad, and having the alternate choice of tap 3, stun 1. Most of the time, I think I would probably be going for make the tokens, unless I'm like going for a big alpha strike and I'm just like move all of my opponent's stuff out of the way, or I really need to tap down this one creature. I wish that this were a little better, but I do think that it's good enough, especially if there is something that's like synergy with hero tokens. I'm not sure if there is one yet though, because I haven't seen it. You missed the start. You've missed 2 cards. 3 now. Ambrosia Whiteheart. This is a chocobo I don't know. It's from 16. I haven't played 16. That makes sense. So Ambrosia Whiteheart is a pretty white chocobo. It's a 2-mana 2/2 with flash. And it's Clive's chocobo. Oh, thank you. Clive's the main boy. We'll see him later. When this enters, you may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. So it's a rescue. And whenever a land you control enters, bird gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's part of the Bant Landfall Chocobos. Great. There's stuff that cares about birds. You'll see Choco later. They're good birds. I think this is pretty nice because it's a rescue with an upside. These rescue cards, by the way, they're especially good if you have things with enter the battlefields, so you can put them back into hand and play them again. You can even use them, by the way, to bring a land back into your hand, so you could trigger landfall again. Some of these say non-land permanent. This one allows you to put a land back in your hand if you're like, I just really need landfall again, so you can grab it. Hey, Insane42, thank you for the 95-month resub on the road to a hundo.
100 XD, I loved your video with Voxy, and I also saw you on Graham's vlog Smile.
Yes, Graham from Loading Ready Run had recently posted a video from MagicCon Vegas, which does involve me eating a giant cookie. The cookie is about as big as my face. Queh. Ash, Princess of Dalmasca. 3 mana, 3/2. Human Rebel Noble. I guess that's appropriate. Whenever Ash attacks, you look at the top 5 cards of your library and you can reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I mentioned before that Boros has a big equipment synergy theme. This could be a way for you to get equipment, and it's repeatable. Ash does not have great stats. Sorry, Ash. But she's not bad, and she does have the ability to just swing in, try to find the piece you're looking for. And it doesn't have to be an equipment. It can be any artifact. I think blue-white has an artifacts theme, because Sid, I think, is part of that artifacts theme. I remember seeing that before. So that would make sense. And I do think this is not a bad uncommon. Would I see it being played in other constructed formats? Probably not. Same with Ambrosia. Unless you were doing birds. Bird's good. Yeah, you gotta use her with Aether Drift so she can fetch cars for you. Auron's Inspiration. Oh, that's cool art. I like that. I like seeing the party, and also like Auron being like, I'm your ghost dad, and I believe in you. 3 mana instant. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn, and flashback of 4 mana. So this is a big team buff, a big charge that you can cast twice. For 7 mana, you could even do it twice in 1 turn. +4/+0. Definitely feels like it would be good if you're going super wide, like making these hero tokens. But these are not cards I usually run. That said, I sometimes do get absolutely blown out by these cards in limited, and I'm not saying they're bad to take. I'm just saying I wouldn't run more than one of them. Battle. Menu. This is, I guess, you literally at the battle menu in a game where you're selecting what to do. This is especially for like the turn-based ones. I know that the interface on the more recent games is a little funky, but I do love choose one, attack, ability, magic, item. For 2 mana at instant, you can either make a knight, give a creature +0/+4, destroy a creature with power 4 or greater, or gain 4 life. This is fantastic. I think that a 2 mana instant speed, make a 2/2 white knight at uncommon is already good enough. But the fact that it is also everything else here, even a removal spell, is really nice. Would I play this in constructed? Maybe in a tokens deck. Would I play it anywhere else? Probably not. We have good other flexible pieces of removal, but I do think it's a nice card. I like options. Cloud. Speaking of equipment synergy, this cloud is great. I think that this is going to make for a good commander. I think it's going to make for a good card in limited if you have equipment, because it gets the extra triggers. If there's things that trigger, we might see them later. It gets you even more. Yes, that's right. Double the Helm of the Host. So Cloud, Midgar Mercenary, 2 mana, 2/1. When he enters, you search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If Cloud is equipped and an ability of Cloud or an ability of an equipment attached to Cloud triggers, it triggers an additional time. So sweet. He's cheap. He tutors, and he double triggers for the things he tutors if they're triggered. Like, awesome. That's just really nice. So yes, Cloudtron. I'm ready for Cloudtron. Give him the Sword of Blink and Blank. Cloudbound Moogle. Cute. 5 mana, 2/3 flying. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. This can target itself. It also has plane cycling of 2, so if you want to, you can pay 2 mana, discard the card, and get any planes, including non-basic planes. I don't think there's any in the set, but including non-basic planes, put it into your hand. These are fantastic and limited. If you are looking for a, like, oh, it's a kind of okay creature later in the game, or I can just use it to get a land. It's really nice. Also, these tend to be reanimatable if we see good reanimation later. I don't think this one specifically. It's a 5 mana, 3/4 flyer. It's okay. I think you could do better, but I have a feeling that some of them will be like good reanimation targets because of that cycling. Querl. 2 mana, 2/2 cat beast with a pay 2 tap. Tap target non-enchantment creature. You cannot tap a summon with this because that's what the big enchantment creatures are in this set. It's filler. It's a bear with an upside. It's funny that it can't hit sagas because it's like the summons only usually have like 1 or 2 turns to attack. So this one is like, nah, you can't stop those from attacking. It is a creature type cat. Would I put it into like a cat deck or like a red and Sari? Probably not. The name of some of these cards is really hard to pronounce. Some of them are from mythology. Some of them are like badly translated words that have gone back and forth. But some of them are also like made up Germanic names. And they're really, really weird. They're in Final Fantasy 14, and you're gonna see me look at them and just like not say them. I'm just gonna say something completely different because I straight up can't see it. This Quirrell. I don't actually know, but Quirrell looks right to me. It's like a squirrel. Crystal fragments. Oh, got crystals now. It's our first equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. It's a short sword. It costs 1 and it costs 1 to equip. You can pay 7 mana to exile the equipment. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Transformed. Short sword turns into... Was it spacebar? Alexander. Oh. Okay. Oh, Blastburn in chat says some of the stuff is creatures from Dungeons and Dragons that Dungeons and Dragons messed up translating from like mythology. Yeah, because sometimes you just keep removing it step by step. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control this turn. It does that for 2 turns. It's a 4/3 flyer, and then it taps all creatures your opponents control, and then it goes away. Okay, sweet. I feel like for an uncommon, this is just, if you happen to have 7 mana later on for crystal fragments, it gives you a creature, because you probably don't want short sword anymore. But that short sword is going away. Once you finish this, it's gone. Still pretty nice. Lets you swing kind of freely, and it gives you a flyer. The crystal's chosen. This is a 7 mana sorcery. Create 4 1/1 colorless hero creature tokens. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, unless this set is like full of ramp. There's a difference between play a kind of useful equipment and transform it for 7 later. Yes, it's nice. And pay 7 mana for, I guess, 8 power and toughness minimum. It's the party. You get to make the party. Yay. But also, no, this is very expensive. Don't touch the crystal. Delivery Moogle. Oh, he's bringing you mail. 4 mana, 3/2 flyer. When it enters, search your library or graveyard for an artifact card with mana value 2 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and if you search your library this way, shuffle. That's really good for limited. So I'm not sure what artifacts we have that cost 2 or less, but I imagine there's a lot of good ones. I remember seeing Ramen during the reviews, and that was like a 2 mana cantripping artifact. But it's on top of being a 3/2 flyer. Hey, Sergeant Salt, thank you for gifting a sub to Kiradeath. I feel like this is a very solid uncommon. Delivery Moogle feels to me like it's probably not going to go in that many Brawl decks. I don't think it would get played in Standard. But if there's something that's tutorable that you want that costs 2/1/0, it's an artifact. This feels like a good way to get it. I could see this seeing play in Brawl. It can target your graveyard, so you can grab the stuff that's already been sacrificed, that you've already used, that's already been destroyed. Feels like a limited all-star. Absolutely. Dion! Alright, Dion turns into Bahamut. No, he summons it by turning into it. I don't really know. I haven't played 16. I had it explained to me. All I know is that Bahamut can cast a set of flare. You like his art? Bahamut's dominant. So we have a knight, a human noble knight. He is a 4 mana 3/3 that comes with a 2/2 knight token. He's also very gay. Oh, good for him. I love him more. I wish more gay men turned into dragons. They just don't. And like, it's not their fault. It's hard to do. You can pay 6 mana, tap and exile Dion, return it to the battlefield, transformed at a sorcery. And this is a 5/5 flyer. Put a +1/+1 creature on each other creature you control. They get flying. It does that for 2 turns. And then Giga Flare, actually. Okay. All right. Let's go. Destroy target permanent, exile Bahamut, return to the battlefield face up. So this is not a saga that sacrifices itself in the last chapter. It goes back to being Dion. That's his boyfriend? This guy right here? Oh, thank you. I don't know. I like a big dragon monster. Not all the Bahamuts, by the way, in Final Fantasy look like dragons. And I think Bahamut, like, of Mythos is like a fish thing. It's part of like the stack that holds the world. Again, I feel like this is one of those, they took the name from Final Fantasy took the name from D&D that took the name from like old Arabic mythos, and they were like, yeah, we kind of lost the plot along the way. It's a dragon now. It's a fish. Nice. Dragoon's Lance. 2 mana. Artifact equipment. Job select. I love job select. So job select is kind of like for Mirrodin or living weapon. When the equipment enters, create a 1/1 hero token. Attach the equipment to the hero token. This is great. It's really nice. And it means you get a body on top of having this equipment that you can re-equip later, even though if you look, it's a pretty expensive one to re-equip. So this is a 2 mana, gives +1/+0, turns things into a knight, and then flies during your turn. So you're essentially like, it's a 2/1 flying on your turn that you can move that flying on your turn onto something else, and the +1/+0. Not bad. Absolutely not bad. I could see putting this into a Nahiri from March of the Machines, the aftermath thing. I could see putting it into that Nahiri deck because it works really well with living weapon. All dragoons gain flying during your turn because they have jump. Yes, that is a theme on a whole bunch of the cards, is the dragoons jump. They're supposed to hunt dragons or whatever. It makes sense. Dwarven Castle Guard. Oh my god, look at him. This is so cute. 2 mana, 2/1. When it dies, you make a 1/1 hero token. Lally Ho is the dwarven greeting. Lally Ho. He's so cute. Wait, Dion also has it? Oh, you're right. During your turn, Dion and other knights you control have flying because he's a dragoon, I guess. Chat hitting me with the lolly hose. Thank you. Thank you for the lolly hose. This is, first of all, adorable. I like the, hey, do you remember that little sprite? Let's give it a lot more details and paint it very seriously. This is also not bad, especially if there's some sort of a sacrifice deck. I know that Sephiroth has like a things dying theme, so I could see this being nice in that if you're going Orzhov. Also, anything that like it dies and leaves the body, kind of nice for a common. These dwarves were used in the Near Raid crossover. Oh. Weird. Fate of the Sun Crest. 5 mana instant that costs 2 less if it is targeting a tapped creature. Destroy target non-land permanent. This is one of those flexible common white removals, but it can hit any non-land permanent. For limited, I will say, that's pretty nice removal. In fact, that's very nice removal. So it's 5 mana, destroy anything but a land, or 3 mana if you're trying to hit a tapped creature. 3 mana is still not that cheap, but it is good enough, I feel, for limited. From father to son. Oh, it's you getting a family car from your dad, RIP. 2 mana sorcery, search your library for a vehicle card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If the spell is cast from your graveyard, you put the card into your battlefield instead, then shuffle. Where would I put this? Greasefang! Where else would I put it? No, just Greasefang. Listen, cars are cool. And there's like 2 cool vehicles in this set that I've seen so far. So yeah, would I play it unlimited? Probably not. Would I play it in a Greasefang or another vehicle stack? Yeah. Sure. Why not? It's Aether Drift, baby. Graha Tia. Oh, it's Auntie Graha. Cat Archer. This is from 14. I know that. Reach. And the Elegant Eye, whenever one or more creatures and or artifacts you control die, draw a card. Only triggers once a turn, but it can trigger on your opponent's turn and on your turn. So that's not bad, but this is 5 mana. This does feel like a pretty nice card for limited, though. It will get you some card advantage as creatures you control die, as artifacts get sacrificed. Oh, and by the way, this is a templating change in this set. I mentioned before, I don't remember if it was when I was recording, that sagas no longer die if they have their abilities removed. And things are now templated to say die even if they're not creatures. So you'll notice it says, or artifacts you control die. Same thing as before. Dying is, does it go from the battlefield to the graveyard? It died. Did it get destroyed? It died. Yeah, he's a cat archer and he has reach. Eat it, Oketra. He apparently knows how to aim up with the bow. Yup. Galacat. 3 mana, 1/3 flying vigilance. If you have 2 or more artifacts, it gets +2/+0, and it's a 3/3 flyer with flying, like vigilance. That's not bad. If you are heavy on artifacts, I feel this is very playable. But if you're not, it feels kind of mediocre. So I feel like this is definitely something you want to play if you're going for that artifacts theme. Also, cat. Would I put it in a cat deck? Probably not, but if you're like trying to go silly and make like an Arabo standard deck, I believe in you. Machinist's Arsenal. That's cool art. This is a 5 mana job select equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 for each artifact you control, including this one, and is an artificer in addition to its other types, and it costs 4 to equip this. On its own, not very good. When you start getting more artifacts, this is like a bigger, badder, what's that living weapon card that scales with your artifacts and enchantments? Yeah, that feels pretty nice. I think Machinist's Arsenal is dependent on how much you have in limited. Nettlecyst? Yeah, Nettlecyst. It feels like a bigger, badder Nettlecyst, but it does cost 2 more mana. I do think it's cool. It's essentially a 5 mana 3/3 if you don't have other things. If you do have other things, it's gonna get pretty big pretty fast. Is it Machinist for 14? Because it's the 14 class. Are they not very good? It sounds like from chat that's not a good class to have in Final Fantasy 14. Magitech Armor. It's the mechs. 4 mana, 4/4 vehicle. When it enters, you come with a hero and has crew 1. So it comes with the guy who can crew the vehicle, which is fine. I feel like it's like a 4 mana 4/4 that can't attack and block, but you can still like use this. It adds towards your count if you have other vehicle or artifact synergies. It makes it better. Yeah, not bad. I could see running that to fill the curve in limited. You think machinists are great because you fight gods with the power of friendship and also a gun you found? Yeah, that's what Final Fantasy is all about. And also Magitech Infantry. Gotta have our mech army. The cyber soldiers were specifically engineered to excel in combat. Serve as the powerhouse of the Imperial Infantry. Bro, I do not remember any of Final Fantasy 15. I know it had Road Trip. I know it had My Dad Dies and Car. And I'm in a boy band of me, I'm the prince, my bodyguard, my bestie who likes taking pictures, and Cook Boy McSmarty Pants. Or, as Voxy called the bodyguard guy, Glorbo? She's doing her best. She's doing her best. Oh, it has Cindy. I don't think Cindy got a card. Cindy was my favorite part of 15. We love Cindy. In this channel, Cindy is the ideal Cid. All right, so 1 mana, 1/1. This creature gets +1/+0 as long as you control another artifact. 3 mana, search your library for a card named Magitech Infantry, put onto the battlefield, tapped and shuffle. Okay, so this is one of those, you try to draft as many of them as you can because you can get other ones out for just 3 mana. It's a 1 mana 2/1, I will say, because very often you will have other artifacts, which is pretty nice in limited or otherwise. If you can get 3 of these in a limited deck, it's pretty cool. If you only get 1, probably wouldn't run it. Is Cindy the hot mechanic girl in the Daisy Dukes? Yes. Yes, she is. She's very yellow. She's like super yellow blonde. She's so cute. Minwoo, white mage. 5 mana, 3/3 vigilance and lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each cleric. I believe Eris, who we saw before, is a cleric. Also, yes, I will go back and forth and say Eris and Aerith because I grew up with Eris and now it's Aerith everywhere. It sounds pretty much the same. We're fine. It's just lispier. So this is big, self-enabling Pridemate that buffs all clerics. Whee! I'm scrolling all the way back up. All the way back up. Yeah, she's a cleric. Okay, just had to double check. So it sounds to me like we have some synergy between our little life-gaining clerics here. It's interesting to see 2 rare Pridemates already. Like, I'm 26 cards in less, I think, because I think we started at 3 because the colorless one's completed. It sounds fine for limited. I don't know. A 5 mana 3/3 I don't like as much, but it's cool if you have other clerics. Yes, if you have a white mage's staff, you make a cleric. Moogles Valor. 3 Moogles. It is a 5 mana instant for each creature you control. Create a Moogle with lifelink. They are indestructible until end of turn. Oh, all your creatures are indestructible until end of turn. Okay, so this is okay if you already are wide, and pretty bad if you have like 1 or no creatures. It does nothing if you have no creatures. I think this absolutely goes into Moogle decks, like if you're building Moogle commanders, because there's like 2 different choices I think I've seen for good Moogle commanders. But yeah, it gets you more Moogles. Wait, Tara's taking a nap in the background? Is that... I'm like putting my face as close as I can get to the screen. Is that Tara? Oh my god, it is! I thought that was a pile of dirt. Yeah, that's her face right there. And like, that's her arm coming out. She's like very sprawled. She's kind of actually Family Guy death posed. She's collapsed into Moogles. They're saving her. I thought she was a pile of dirt. Yeah, that's why they call her Tara. In limited though, it's fine. It's kind of expensive for like what it's doing, but it will be a blowout and somebody's gonna win some cool games off it. Paladin's Arms. Actually, that's a shield. It goes on your arm. 3 mana, job select, turns things into knight, and it gives +2/+1 ward 1. So we've got essentially a 3 mana 3/2 with ward 1. Not bad. Not bad for cheap equipment, and it fills up like if you're looking for more artifacts. Phoenix down. Does it reanimate things? 1 mana artifact, you pay 2, tap and exile it to return a creature card with mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You could do that at instant speed, or exile a skeleton, spirit, or zombie, because it's holy magic, I guess. I remember holy stuff doing stuff against undead monsters. That's cute. I wonder how many skeleton, spirits, and zombies are in this set. Did they put Skeleton Archer in this set? I hope they did. We love Skeleton Archer here. Give me the reprints. This doesn't seem bad. I think for 3 mana, getting to return something that costs 4 or less seems pretty good. It does it at instant speed. You can pay this ahead of time by being like, oh yeah, turn 1, I played the Phoenix down. So it's on the battlefield for my artifact synergies, and I'll tap and sacrifice it later to bring the thing back. Resto magic. We do be restoring things. So this is our healing, our cures. You can either cast for 1 mana, Cure. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible. Cura for 2 mana. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible. You gain 3 life. Curaga for 5 mana. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible, and you gain 6 life. Sweet. This is just a nice card. I feel like it's okay and limited. It's protection for your board. These are kind of dependent on how much single target removal there is. If there's a ton of single target removal, this is a cheap way to blanket, maybe gain yourself some life if you have extra mana, or just like protect everything against a board wipe, as long as it's not minus for the board wipe, not reducing toughness. There's enough single target removal, you think, to justify maybe running one of these? Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't seen black yet, so I've seen like 1 white piece of removal. Side quest, catch a fish. Okay, the Final Fantasy 15 boys are going fishing. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's an artifact or creature card, you can reveal and put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand this way, make a food and transform this enchantment. So it's 3 mana, and it will hit pretty often and limited for artifact or creature. Cooking campsite. It's a mana enchantment. Taps for 1 white, pay 3, tap sacrifice an artifact to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control at sorcery speed. Oh, so you can eat the food to feed the party. Wait, oh, it's not an enchantment, it's a land. Oh, I'm sorry. It's an enchantment that turns into a land. Huh. So yeah, it draws you a card and then ramps. That actually seems kind of nice. I think I like that for limited. It's one of those things where like you're kind of taking a turn off to play it, but it could immediately reward you next turn. Cool design. Slash of Light. Hello, Slash of Light. Oh, let me link to the galleries for people in chat. There we go. Slash of Light. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control, plus the number of equipment you control to target a creature. These tend to be okay and limited. If you have lots of creatures, guess what? It's removal, and we need removal. So sometimes you'll take it. It's definitely not the best removal, because if you don't have creatures, it doesn't do anything. Except, this one says, and equipment you control. Which is cool, because it means the job select guys count twice. Because you have the hero token, and you have the equipment. Snow Villers? Sure. It's Snow. I remember him from my quiz. He's Lightning's brother-in-law. Right? Is that right? Brother-in-law? Hey, way to go. Thank you for the sub. That's okay. So that's Snow. I didn't play 13. I'm sorry. 3 mana. Question mark. 3, vigilance. Powers equal to the number of creatures you control. Cool. The wider you are, the stronger he gets. He might also be the biggest idiot in all of Final Fantasy. Is he like a charming himbo? Because I am into charming himbos. I guess I just have to hope. Gotta hope. Gotta believe. Stiltskin! This was one of the first cards we actually saw from the set. 1 mana, 1/2. Moogle. I love that Moogle is a creature type. Lifelink. Oh, good for my clerics. Pay 2. Tap. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. So you give your opponent your kind of useless garbage. What useless garbage is there to give your opponent? In limited, I guess you could give somebody like a saga with its like final sacrificing trigger on the stack. Be like, here you go. Here's the saga. It's about to go away. Thanks for the card draw. Hero tokens. Yeah, but like you don't want to give away your creatures. Some auras will fall off. Lands. You don't want to give your opponent lands. Yeah, I'm sure there's uses for it. At its base, though, it's a 1 mana 1/2 with lifelink, which I would still pick unlimited because numbers. It's Choco / Mog. It's Choco and Mog. 3 mana, 3/3 Warkapo. Because it's got both cute animals. Stampede. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Yeah, this feels like a common. It's not bad. It goes away. It has 2 chances to attack. It's okay. The worst Moogle design. It looks like a sad koala. The Chocobo looks great, though. And this is the biggest saga in the set. Knights of the Round. Knights of the Round does not take as long to resolve as it would in the game, but it still takes a while because it has 5 chapters. For 8 mana, what the hell, 8 mana? It is a 3/3 indestructible. For the first 4 chapters, you make 3 knights, and that's on each of them you make 3 knights. So 3, and then another 3, then another 3, then another 3. So 12 knights. And then ultimate end, on the turn it sacrifices itself. Other creatures you control get +2/+2, and they get indestructible counters. Yes, people are going to cheat this into play with Abuelo's Awakening. Of course they are. In limited, though, I don't know. It's like, if you can get to 8 mana, hell yeah. If you can't get to 8 mana, this is going to sit in your hand and make you feel like, dang. It got spoiled by Brandon Sanderson. I assume he's also a Final Fantasy nerd, because I know he's a Magic nerd, and I know he writes 8 million books per minute, whatever his rate of publication is. Primal Garuda. This is a 4 mana, 3/3 flying saga. It's a saga harpy. I do like that they did the summons as sagas. I think that's really cool. This creature deals 4 damage to a tapped creature an opponent controls. So it's removal when it first enters. Then another creature you control gets +1/+0 and flying. So it only gets 1 turn to attack. It seems okay. I kind of wish it was more than 4 damage so it could kill more things in the set. But not bad. This was also spoiled by him. Huh. Now, Ultima. Yeah, Ultima's pretty big. 5 mana, sorcery. Destroy all artifacts and creatures. End the turn. So after you do that, can't do anything else. It's a sorcery speed, but just that's the end of the turn. It's Ultima. It's cool. That's all you're doing. You can't rebuild the board after. It's going to be a downside. Sometimes. No way anybody could cast on your opponent's turn. That is, I was about to say, the thing you do with this is you try to find a way to cast it on your opponent's turn by giving it flash, which there's ways to do it. The Not Heart of Hedolin. 3 mana, 3/3. Elder Wizard. Interesting. Elder Wizard. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, and there's like over 100 of them in the set, draw a card. Only triggers once a turn. Still awesome. Heroes Sundering. Pay 7. Tap. And exile target non-land permanent to get rid of something your opponent has, and also turn Venat into the Mother Crystal. Whoa. Yo, J Turbo Banana, they give it a 32-month resub. It's fine. It's God, I guess. Listen, I don't know who this is, but I guess they're God. It's fine. Indestructible 4/4, Blessing of Light. At the beginning of combat in your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. And until your next turn, not until end of turn, until your next turn, it gains Indestructible. If that creature is legendary, draw a card. Wow. This is some Final Fantasy 14 stuff. Cool. That seems very good for limited. I feel like the fact that it is going to be card draw for you is good enough. But if you have 7, it turns into exiling removal.
Gold
and
PLZ.
Another really good card. Greg's. Nice. Thank you so much for the 6-month resub. She's the big crystal who tells you to hear, feel, think. Oh, she's the thing in the opening cutscene. Okay. I got that far. Gonna go in your legendary Babes commander deck? Yes. Also, this is a pretty good commander. I would say that it plays really nicely with other things that care about legends. Think like Joda. You could put it into your decks that care about legends, but you can also played as its own commander. It is card advantage. It seems strong. And it seems like it would go decently with, like, Gandalf. Gandalf that gives your historic permanence flash. Because then you can more easily trigger her other ability on other turns. She's like 15 feet tall. Let's go. Love women who are 15 feet tall. And also love weapon. Weapons deal. Not weapons dealer. Weapons vendor. 4 mana, 2/2. I think that might be a different guy. When this creature enters, draw a card. At the beginning of combat in your turn, if you control an equipment, you can pay 1. When you do, attach target equipment you control to target creature you control. Oh, sweet. This is another way to cheat Colossus Hammer onto things. Which means it's good. Now, as far as the equipment we've seen so far, outside of the short sword that transforms, everything has had a very high cost to equip or to re-equip. So I think that's pretty nice. And the fact that it's already a 4 mana 2/2 that draws you another card, and it gives you this equipment ability. I like this. I would absolutely run this in a limited deck where I'm doing equipment stuff, or where I'm blinking things. Another way to cheat Excalibur or Hammer. Yeah. This can see play in Commander is like a probably pretty nice budget way to cheat equipment onto things, especially in mono white. So if you're just doing SRAM, you don't have access to Bruenor or anything like that. Budget Arden, yeah. Especially in Brawl, where we don't have Arden to cheat our equipments. White Auracite. This is part of a cycle of crystals, I think. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. There's a separate crystal cycle. This is just Auracite, which is a type of crystal, but it's different. 4 mana artifact. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. Taps for white. So this is nice. It's a mana rock that's an O-ring, but it's an artifact. Where does it go? Artifact X. It's Final Fantasy, so 60% of all objects are some sort of crystal. Yes. Cardboard Tech in chat says, love that the artist found the one angle where Minfilia's outfit looks good. Wow. The hate. It's because Magali did this art. That's why it's good. We didn't get Crystal Chronicles. It does make it a very juicy target. But that's still, I would say this is nice for limited. I'll pay 4 mana for an O-ring. The outfit has a terrible butt window. Oh. It just kind of looks like cool leather stuff here. Okay. White Mage's Staff. That gets you a Cleric. It is a 2 mana job select, so you get a 1/1 hero. It gets +1/+1, and whenever this creature attacks, you gain 1 life. Neat. And here's the crystal from the crystal cycles. Everything is crystals. 4 mana, legendary artifact. White spells you cast cost 1 less. And that is pretty nice. It is legendary. There's one of these in each color that has that ability. Spells of that color cost 1 less. It's the medallions. Is that the cycle? So like medallions, but they cost twice as much. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. And it has an activated ability, 6 mana, tap, creatures you control gain flying and lifelink. This feels very good for limited because of the repeatable way to give flying and lifelink. And also discounting your spells isn't bad. I don't think it's amazing in limited though, because it is a little pricey to do. And at 4 mana in limited, that discount of 1 won't make much of a difference, especially because you're probably going to be in 2 or 3 colors. Probably 2 colors is my guess. This feels like a 2-color set to me. But I don't know because I haven't seen everything because there's a lot of cards. You're not alone. No, you're hanging out with your Final Fantasy IX party. It's got Dagger giving a target creature +2/+2 until end of turn. But if you have 3 or more creatures, +4/+4 until end of turn. Neat. You want to put that into a beta deck? Yeah, sure, gain twice as much life. It feels like a 2-color set that can be 3. Yeah, I think that there are 2-color lands that are towns, maybe? And then there's a couple other things. This is fine. It's a 1 mana, like, little combat trick that if you happen to be wide is a much bigger one. +4/+4? I mean, that's more than a giant growth. +2/+2 is whatever. That's cool. Zac Fair. So this is the same Zac card that's in the Final Fantasy VII Commander deck. It is also standard legal. It's also a puppy dog because it sacrifices itself to save things. Oh, great timing! Put it on to Xanarkand. My playlist is not like specifically running Final Fantasy songs right now. Maybe I should set it to do that. Zac enters with a +1/+1 counter. He's a 1/2. You pay 1, sacrifice Zac, and target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn, and you put Zac Fair's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zac to that creature so he can pass down the Buster Sword, and you can give him the strength and memories. Yeah. Zac seems fine. I think he feels very good for limited. Just having the protection ability, having a 1-mana 1/2. Feels good. Feels good to me. Zac is sacrificing himself. Listen. It's fine. Ishgard, the Holy Sea, spelled S-E-E. Yeah, that's what that is. Is it because they can see everything from there? This is a part of a cycle of adventure lands. You can either play it as land or cast the adventure spell and then later, even the same turn, play the land. So, Faith and Grief. 5 mana, return up to 2 target artifact or enchantment cards from your graveyard to your hand. And then land is just a tapped white source. That still feels pretty nice. I like the versatility of it. Boop. Beatrix, Loyal General. With big curly hair. 6 mana, 4/4, Vigilance, Human Soldier. At the beginning of combat in your turn, you can attach any number of equipments you control to target creature you control. Oh, speaking of Arden, this is like Arden that costs twice as much. Cool for equipment decks. You Voltron everything all at once. And also in limited, putting that all on a Vigilance is pretty cool. This is a starter deck card. Oh! Somebody's pointing out that, see how its number is 554? This is a card that is standard legal, but not draftable. That's why it's at the end of white here. So you won't see this in draft, but you can put it in your Brawl decks. You could also put it in your standard decks. You probably don't want to. Probably. I don't feel like there's a good equipment build yet for standard. Same with Rosa, Resolute White Mage. Rosa is a 4 mana 2/3 with reach. Oh my god. She has a bow and arrow in the art. She has reach, but she's not an archer. She is a noble cleric. At the beginning of combat in your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Oh, that's not bad. I like the things that put a counter each turn. Not an archer, though. Flavor fail. But she's good enough. And that is all of the white cards. Next, time for blue.